Your avoidant ex ended the relationship and then asked to stay friends. Here's the truth. That offer tells you the relationship has been reclassified. It doesn't tell you the attachment has been resolved. They still check in. They suggest coffee, send the song or the photo of the place you went that summer. They say losing the friendship would be unbearable. They sound closer than they did when you were together. So tonight, we open the case file on one sentence. I still want us to be friends, and work out what it's doing, whose needs it serves, and why the warmth returned after the ending. Start with what the offer doesn't mean. It doesn't prove they never loved you, that they secretly plan to return, or that they're manipulating you. Staying friends with an ex is ordinary. Avoidant attachment doesn't predict who remains friends. The label doesn't reveal the motive. So the question isn't simply, why do avoidants want friendship? It's sharper. What problem is this friendship solving for them? Something changed when they said it. The category. Yesterday, your presence came with terms, commitment, availability, and repair. Today, friend keeps the access and removes the terms. They still get your voice, understanding, and history. What disappears is everything that voice was allowed to ask of them. That's the verdict this case rests on. The bond has been reclassified. It hasn't been resolved. So why are they warmer now? The relationship asked them to remain emotionally visible, answer for their distance, and choose a future out loud. For someone who experiences closeness as a threat to autonomy, that feels like pressure. Friendship changes the equation. You're still there, but you're no longer allowed to require what a partner requires. So they relax. They joke like they used to, and go soft in ways that make your chest ache. Not because the ending revealed how much they love you, but because friendship lets them approach without feeling captured by what approaching used to mean. They want to experience you at a distance that no longer reads as demand. But warmth still doesn't tell you why they want you there. Avoidantly attached people push thoughts of the separation down until stress breaks that control. Distance lowers the volume of attachment without resolving it. Neither their composure nor their warmth is your answer. Inside the same sentence, let's stay friends, 4 different motives repeatedly appear. 4 suspects, same words, entirely different cases. Motive 1, security. They genuinely value you. You know the whole story. You notice when their voice changes. You made difficult weeks survivable. They still ring when the family dinner goes wrong or say, "You're the one person who gets me." Friendships rooted in trust, support, and genuine regard have the best outcomes. Their affection is real, but the anxious part of you takes "you matter to me" and files it as proof that they're coming back. That's the misread. "You matter to me, and I can build a relationship with you" aren't the same sentence. One describes your worth, the other, their capacity. They believe you're irreplaceable and are still unable to sustain being your partner. The bond is real without being safe. Real doesn't mean enough. Notice what they're trying to retain: your loyalty, steadiness, warmth, and understanding. Your qualities were never what they wanted to lose. What has been removed is everything those qualities were allowed to ask of them. Pause here and tell me in the comments, which of these 4 motives do you recognize most, or which of the 3 tests gives you the clearest answer? And if this case file helps you read evidence you're too close to see, give it a like and subscribe. It helps the next person trapped in the same silence find it. Motive 2, practicality. Friendship is logistics wearing a sentimental coat. You share children, a workplace, a deposit, mutual friends, or a scene where you'll keep colliding. These friendships are more stable because they're not secretly organized around longing. But contact feels meaningful when it's really just a calendar. Watch what happens when the logistics end. If the contact disappears too, the friendship was a corridor, not a room. That's not cruelty. It's simply not what you hoped it was. Motive 3, civility. Avoidance doesn't predict who stays friends, but it shapes why some people offer friendship to keep the ending clean. People higher in avoidance favor indirect exits. They dim the relationship until it's technically over, then offer friendship as a softer landing. Listen to the statement, "I don't want you to hate me. You mean too much to disappear." Those words are sincere, but they also soften what the decision says about the person leaving. Your composure becomes the receipt proving they weren't cruel. You took the gentleness as a door left open. It was an anesthetic. "Let's be friends" means, I can't remain your partner, but I can't tolerate becoming your stranger. When civility is the main motive, the friendship doesn't last. Civility is simply the language people use to leave without feeling cruel. Motive 4. Unresolved desire. The attraction remains. Loneliness reaches for the familiar number. Jealousy appears when you mention someone new. Hope survives without being named. Of the 4 motives, unresolved desire causes the most damage. It creates more distress while making reconciliation more likely. But renewal isn't repair. Getting back together because neither person finished leaving becomes relapse with better lighting. You know the behavior. They resurface when you go quiet. They're warm at midnight and formal by daylight. They say intimate things in private, then retreat when the conversation needs a definition. They move towards you when loss gets loud, and away when closeness resembles the relationship. Your anxious mind sees reconciliation assembling itself. The pattern is simpler. Wanting access isn't the same as being ready to choose you. Missing you is an emotion. Choosing you is a set of behaviors. They display the first while declining the second. Most offers contain a blend of motives, and the blend changes by the week. That's why the motive question eventually runs out of road. Whatever they feel, a harder question remains. What's this friendship doing to you? The same friendship is 2 different rooms. For the person who ended it, reassurance, relief from guilt, and familiar comfort without responsibility. For the person who didn't want the ending, evidence. Every warm conversation reopens the case. Every withdrawal becomes another miniature breakup, grieved quietly so you don't frighten them away. Both of you agreed to friendship, but you're living in different relationships. One of you has been released from the relationship's obligations. The other is still psychologically on call. Look at what the on-call person does. You hide grief so you don't seem heavy. You swallow jealousy when their weekend includes somebody new. You accept contact that appears and vanishes because questioning it feels like breaking rules you never agreed to. You perform a detachment you don't feel, easy, light, undemanding, making yourself easy enough to keep. You tell yourself that asking for nothing will finally make you safe enough to love. So here's the sentence you've been avoiding. You're calling it friendship because admitting you're still waiting would threaten the only connection left. That's not an accusation. You're carrying consistency, warmth, and devotion under pressure. Those qualities are extraordinary, but they're being donated to an arrangement that values them because they require nothing in return. Your loyalty isn't on trial. The arrangement is. And the waiting room has another function. It stops the breakup from fully happening. A real ending forces reorganization. They stop being your first call. Access is no longer assumed. The comfort they provided has to be found elsewhere, and the imagined future dismantled. Continued contact blurs every step. You still know they're weak. They still reach for you when theirs collapses. The relationship is absent when commitment is requested, and present when comfort is needed. They don't fully feel your absence, and you don't fully face that the shared future is gone. Instead of acute grief followed by recovery, you live inside chronic grief with no finish line. The friendship becomes the breakup with just enough contact to stop either of you fully feeling it. That contact matters because an ex can remain an attachment figure for years. Every coffee, message, and glimpse of their life keeps the bond active. The more often people see an ex, the more distress they report. Among former partners without children, frequent contact wipes out the recovery that otherwise comes with time. Following an ex online has the same effect: more longing, more distress, and less growth. Watching keeps the wound open, and the wound keeps you watching. Either way, the fragments are doing damage. Contact anesthetizes the rupture, and you can't fully grieve what keeps returning in fragments. So the case ends, not with their motive, but with your decision. The question isn't merely whether friendship is possible, it's whether friendship is already true. 3 tests reveal its function better than either person's explanation. Test 1, the new partner test. Can you stand watching them fall in love with somebody else? And can they stand watching you? Not accept it on paper. Actually stand the photos, the +1, and the softness in their voice. If the arrangement only feels safe while you both remain available, it's suspended romance wearing friendship's name. Test 2, the reciprocity test. Do they supply the care they collect? When your week collapses, do they show up as you do for them? If you're still maintaining the bridge, carrying every repair, and translating every silence, this isn't mutual friendship, it's retained access to your best qualities. Test 3, the consequence test. Track what contact does to your body and week. After seeing them, are you grounded and increasingly free to build something separate? Or are you activated, hopeful, rereading, and unable to invest elsewhere for days? Don't argue with the result. Consequences reveal the friendship's function more reliably than either person's story. Your calendar and your chest already know the verdict. So let's close the file with the answers you came for. What was true? The bond. Their regard for you. The warmth that returned when pressure left was real. Your memory of being loved isn't a delusion. What wasn't enough? Their reach. They wanted the light of the connection without its weight, your qualities without what those qualities ask of a partner. The offer is the honest shape of that limit. Access without terms. You without the cost of you. That's not evil. It's simply not a relationship. And what should you stop doing? Stop auditioning. Stop editing your grief to remain keepable. Stop entering their warmth as evidence about your future. It reveals comfort, affection, or loss. It doesn't prove they're prepared to build differently. Decline the offer, or accept it later, once friendship is actually true. But don't accept a friendship whose admission price is pretending you're no longer in love. Any arrangement that requires you to hide your heart in order to stay inside it has already told you exactly what it is. I've been the Relationship Detective, and thank you for watching. If this video helped you see things more clearly, please give it a like, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel. I wish everyone watching all the best, and I hope to see you again in the next video.